Uh, Good evening, everyone. This is Mitch Dunitz. I've got a pair of Berkowitzes with me for this segment. I've got Michael and Dana, two accomplished bridge players in their own right, and we've seen and experienced a couple real heavyweight matches. The creme de la creme of bridge. Four of the finest teams alive are competing, and right now, at two tables, the nickel team and the Spectre team have comfortable leads. But as we all know, anything can happen. So without further ado, we're going to start at the nickel table. And if either match gets tighter, that's the match we're going to focus on. So without further ado, let's go to the bridge and welcome Dana. Welcome, Michael.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Mitch. Hi, Mike. Long time no see.
Yeah, right. So it looks like we're watching this match that is Nickel Fleischer. Again, there's only 4 teams left. So this is the last session of the semifinals. And as Mitch mentioned, neither match is really close yet, but hopefully we'll see some comebacks, particularly since Dana and I have a strong rooting interest in the Rosenthal team, where Dana's husband Chris is playing. All right.
We're going to see some different auctions here too, because we have three of the four partnerships play precision. So those methods may or may not be familiar to some of you out there. We will try and explain what's going on, but the difference in system can often play a big part in where the auctions finish. So let's see.
Michael, when you teach your students with Steve Weinstein's hand, would you teach them to open a no trump playing standard?
I love teaching my students to open one no trump with this particular shape. I teach that this is obviously a semi-balanced, not a balanced hand, whenever you have 2 doubletons. And with semi-balanced hands, you think about your rebid. Here, what would we have? 7, 8, 12, 14, 15. I want to make sure you weren't lying to me about how many points we had, but with 15 points, we can plan to open one no trump, because if we open one club and partner bids a spade, you're going to be in trouble a lot of the time. So I do, in fact, teach to open one no trump with these types of hands. And we see that they find hearts anyway, and it's nice and easy.
I think it would be common at playing 2/1 to open the East hand a no trump, because if you open a club, you can't catch up. If you open a heart, which does appeal to me somewhat, you're going to have some ugly rebid issues. But one of the things that's interesting is that even though with this good 4-5 distribution, Steve Weinstein did not accept a game try, I'm wondering if the Jack of Diamonds was the Jack of Clubs, do you think he would have accepted? What do the two of you think about that?
I think he probably would have accepted if he had Queen Jack 5th. Maybe even if he had the 10 of clubs. Dana, would you?
Yes, I would. I don't know about the 10 of clubs. Now we're splitting hairs. Al points out that Joe, I think, is probably playing are they playing precision or standard in this seat?
They tend to play open precision when they're playing when they're not vulnerable, and they play 2/1 when they're vulnerable. But I would expect both teams that are behind would be trying to look for opportunities to create swings. They're not going to swing for crazy reasons, but it would make sense where there's 2 reasonable choices to try and make the choice that's not made at the other table.
Right. So the teams that are behind, just so everyone is on the same page, is the Fleischer team, which in the room on our left is East-West. Is that right? And North-South in the room on the right.
Mossgrew and Woolsey Bramley are behind. And I will tell you one thing in admiration of Kit Woolsey that I have to share with you. This man has no fear when it comes to preempting, and their style is just uber aggressive with preempting, whether they're behind or ahead. And that is the kind of pair I would want in if I was down 50 imps.
Couldn't agree more. And Woolsey and Bramley have had a really great pandemic, I would say. Their record on online play in the USBF events has been really strong. So it's exciting to see them do well again here.
It's nice to know that someone's having a good pandemic. That's such a funny choice of words. I love it, Dana.
Yeah, and it looks like two hearts made some over tricks. Three hearts looks like it's gonna do
I
fine.
have not
So-
had such a good pandemic. I've never watched more television in my life, but okay, I guess we're getting away from the bridge with that.
There has been some good television. So let's just take a look at the room on our left, which is the open, we'll call it the open room for everyone's convenience. Nice hand for Greco South, and we see a 2-club opening that is not a standard 2 clubs, right? That's a precision 2 clubs showing a good club suit. He's got to really like his hand for that bid.
The constructive auctions after one opens precision 2 clubs is not great. I do play this with one of my regular partners, and it's wonderful for trying to steal from the opponents. But if you had like a slam invitational hand opposite a 2 club opener, just chewing up all that bidding room can be difficult. Here, they probably won't have that problem because Hampson only has a 6 count. But if it comes up in the future, that could bode well for their opponents.
Do you guys like the double and then 2 spades rather than a direct 2 spade here?
I think the playing strength is strong, so I do like the double followed by 2 spades myself. Dana, what do you think of that?
I don't feel like I could criticize it, especially because there's some pretty good chance that they're going to find their way to a good diamond contract now.
Yes.
Double's a little more flexible. Double's a little bit more flexible, and I would be seduced by the 10 of spades. I don't know if that matters, but with ace jack empty 6, they probably would have been 2 spades.
And I think in my mind, if my hand was a little less flexible, I might also have bid 2 spades if I had 3 diamonds and 3 hearts.
I completely agree with you, so we both must be wrong.
Well, this is interesting. I think I might have, I think Greco took the slow route here to 3 clubs. He did have a pretty nice hand when it went pass double. He could have just bid 3 clubs directly to eat up a little bit more space. This might wind up hurting because now Joe gets to bid his suits out.
But now in a different approach, I believe Hampson and Greco over 2 clubs have played 2 hearts as non-forcing, whereas I'm reasonably sure that Woolsey and Bramley would play 2 hearts as forcing. So Jeff Hampson eschewed that by passing 2 clubs. And when this hand comes up at the other table, we'll see, we might see a very different auction.
Yeah. Well, they found diamonds, but they did not find a high level of diamonds. Let's see, they have to lose a heart. They have to lose a club. And then they have to figure out a lot of roughing.
They can set up the spades. It's going to be pretty easy to take 11 tricks and diamonds if they choose to. If they choose to, the spade suits are favorable. The Holiday Inn split 3-3. No surprise. The best surprise is no surprise. A great commercial from the 80s. Okay.
Okay, well, now you're just dating yourself.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. Well, I'll start with 60s commercials next. Then I'll really date myself.
From the perspective of the trailers, so far the hands have been a little bit good because there's been an opportunity to take a different first action on all of the deals, which is I'm told reliably is a good way to generate swing without losing too much equity. If you can take an action that maybe is 40% instead of 60% as your first action, you rate to generate a different result than the other table.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they've decided to go low in both situations, or Joe and Brad have gone low in 2 of these situations where they might have had, well, it looks like they could have made games. We didn't do a lot of analysis on 3 hearts. I'm not so sure that 4 hearts is a good contract, but 5 diamonds looks like a very good contract.
Well, I think you guys raised some excellent points, in particular the 40-60 discussion. That's really spot on. Here, of course, both these teams just want to get through the last 15 boards with their leads intact, and we haven't seen too much action on board 1. Board 2, it remains to be seen.
Yeah. So he's not giving it too much thought, I think, in three diamonds. He's got a lot of tricks, no matter how he chooses to play it. I don't think this is necessarily the best line that he's found. Well, let's see. If they continue a heart, he can rough. I guess he could almost make it on a cross roughy thing.
The 10 of diamonds means he has an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
True.
In terms of the aggression, it's interesting. I wonder if in each partnership or each team that's trailing, I wonder if one pair has agreed to sort of be the straight men and the other one will be a little bit more aggressive or swinging. That would be a common agreement or strategy to make sure that not everybody's going crazy at the same time. So if somebody's going crazy is working, then you can cash it.
Right. Definitely a possibility. If you were picking which team to go crazy, I guess
Which pair?
Which pair? I guess you would pick Kit and Bart to go crazy, but Joe and Brad have their share of craziness. Yes, Al in the chat has commented that he thinks everyone is willing to be aggressive. So
I think Bobby and Stevie are not going to go crazy, and I think Eric and Jeff are going to play down the middle also. So
yeah,
it remains to be seen.
It's certainly a matchup of the Fleischer team is aggressive and the Nickel team is more down the middle. In general, that's their normal tendency, and that'll be even more so here. Even though these first two boards haven't really borne that out. Yeah, so he only took 9 tricks, which again, that first board, it's not super clear that anything is good. It's just whether or not you might have a chance at making 4 if you guess well.
So now we'll be on to board 2 in the Bramley-Woolsey stage, and we're going to see if their methods over precision 2 clubs are any different.
Right. I don't know that even with a non-forcing 2 heart bid available to me, I would do anything red against white.
Well, Steve Weinstein will be coming in regardless. Otherwise, he'll need to find a new occupation.
Yes.
How do precision pairs usually play 3 clubs opening bid?
Clubs, it's a 3 clubs would be a preempt. And obviously this hand's way too good for that. But 2 clubs is an opening hand. In most precision players play 2 clubs is an opening hand with 6 clubs. Some people play, it can be as few as 5 with a 4-card major. I would say that's a significant minority of what the precision players do.
And in your experience, do the precision players also play opening 3 no trump as gambling? Sort of, I have a ball running minor.
I've seen that. I think it's more common. My experience is it's more common to play 3 no trump is a 4 of a major opening bid. That's popular, but there's a lot of choices there. You know, let's face it. The amount of times any of us open 3 no trump, maybe we open it with a minor suit preempt if we're playing Namiats, but 3 no trump is there's no great bid for opening 3 no trump. You could play at 6-5 in the minors, and chances are the 2 of you would be my age before that would come up.
Yeah, it's always funny to have these bids that exist because, hey, what does a 5 diamond opening bid show, or what does a 5 no trump opening bid show? But they don't actually have to have a real meaning.
Now in the Bramley-Woolsey room, since I believe they play 2 clubs, 2 hearts is forcing, Bramley had no choice but to pass. And now we'll see how the auction proceeds.
So Kit chose a direct 3 clubs as opposed to delayed 3 clubs.
Yeah, he's announcing probably a 7th club or top of the range and good clubs, and he certainly has his bid.
Well, it makes it much harder for them to have a chance to find diamonds because now over 3 spades, West is going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Now, something interesting's happened on board 3 in the other room, where I suspect Joe Grew. I could be wrong on their methods, but I suspect he maybe has been Michaels with the.
No, it shows 4 hearts, 4 hearts and 5 plus clubs, or a strong Michaels hand.
I see. That's a very interesting treatment. So what does he do with a weaker Michaels hand? What do they do?
That I don't have in front of me. Maybe Al knows.
Slacker.
Al, do you know what they do with a weaker Michaels bid? They pass. No, I don't know. Yeah, so over 3 spades, we see that Bobby Levin passed because he had no good choices. So East never got to find out that West had some diamonds.
Now, unless they get a diamond rough, it looks like they're going to be able to make 3 spades. The diamond's been led, and that does set the stage for a diamond rough.
Yeah. Yeah, Bramley has to not go for a club rough, but he might suspect that Declarer only has 1 club anyway, based on this auction. Well, if he plays ace of spades, spade, can they always get 2 trump tricks.
As long as South wins the king of spades.
Oh, South wins the king of spades and crosses, yeah. They have to just be careful. So that way they get 3.
Now, an interesting play, we'll see if Bart does this on the 7 of diamonds. If he were to play the 9 of diamonds as suit preference for hearts.
That would be a nice play.
We'll see if that happens.
And certainly his trump play might be his suit preference. Now, I think it's just easier for people watching. I know that there's some action going on at the other table, but if we just follow what's going on behind in the table that's a little behind, we can always kind of catch up with what happened at the other table, particularly when someone's thinking about what to play. So don't panic if you're like, there's a lot of action at the other table, but we don't have to worry about it yet. All right. So here, yeah, the queen of he did play the 9, as you suggested, Mitch.
It's a fine play.
Yeah. Let's play the 9 of spades also. No. Might have been too important of a card.
This is one of the things I tell my partners or students is every card matters. So playing that 9 of diamonds is a play that every one of these players I'd expect to make in the remaining couple matches. It's just a good play to get partner on the right track. And now let's see if Kit goes up with the king, they'll beat this hand.
So given that Declarer was planning on playing ace of spades and a spade anyway, do you think that the queen of diamonds was more deceptive than playing low and playing the ace?
Well, if you play the queen of diamonds and the king, queen of spades are on your right, which would mean then the person South has the ace, king, the solid clubs and the ace of hearts, they might split the spades. Who knows?
I see. It wasn't a purely objective. And Bramley figured this out.
It was excellent defense by Woolsey and Bramley to get the extra trick. Just clean bridge.
Very nice. And then we'll see a claim fairly soon.
Yep.
Yep.
Now there's a lot of bidding in the other room on the next board, which ended with Joe Grew doubling 4 spades. And making that contract is going to depend on finding the diamond queen. So the Fleischer team earns 5 imps on board, the second board, shaving the lead down to 56. It's a beginning.
Yeah.
It's the beginning. We've all lost these matches. We've all won these matches.
Have we?
From way back. Yes,
Have we all lost and won these matches when we're down 60? I'm not sure after 120, what is this, 120 board match? I'm not sure that we can say that we've all been in 120 board matches to begin with. It's a long time to be playing. And because of that, it's somewhat impressive that so many of these matches up to today have been very close and down to the wire. It's a sign of how close all of these really elite teams are. And even when one team has a lead that's 50 imps or something, the teams are very close. Everyone is very good.
All right, in the Bramley Woolsey table room, the auction's gone 1 spade double, 2 spades, 2 spades. I don't know whether they play a transfer structure. I suspect they do, so that 2 spades might be most people would play that's kind of a weak raise. This is not this is right in between what I would describe as a weak and a strong raise. So Kid has chosen only 2 spades, and we'll see where this leads.
That leads to 2 spades.
Leads to 2 spades. Now, if Steve Weinstein had 5 diamonds and 2 clubs, he might have doubled again, but if he doubled with this hand and partner bid 3 diamonds, he might not be thrilled. In any case, they're in 2 spades. That will make comfortably. And
in the other table, Declare misguessed the diamonds, perhaps led astray by knowing that Joe Grew had so many cards and clubs and hearts.
Yeah, I think that was probably it was definitely the percentage play to finesse the other way for the diamond. It just doesn't work out today.
so we're going to have another pickup on this from the Fleischer team on this board, and we inch a little closer. Do we know what's going on in the other room? I see 2 imps have gone to the Rosenthal team.
Yeah.
With 2/3.
Unlike this match, both tables were in game on the first board. One table was in 4 hearts and the other in 3 no, and neither of those came home. And it looks like we might have a misunderstanding of some kind on the second board at one table in the Rosenthal team. So east-west, where they have been playing in either diamonds or spades, in the Fleischer nickel match are in fact playing in 3 hearts, which is going to have some problems.
Yeah, that's not a great place to be.
Okay, on to board 49 in the Mossgrew Greco Hampson room. And
let's see, 1 heart double seems normal, aggressive, good shape, all your values outside of hearts. Is that your kind of double? Would both of you have made this double with an 11 count, 4-2, 3-4?
It's reasonable, it's flexible. I also wouldn't quarrel with bidding 1 spade. The thing is, you're going to be on lead in all likelihood, so therefore therefore the double's the most flexible bid. Now I suspect 3 clubs is probably a limit raise by Greco, and then there's an interesting choice. Jeff Hampson has a minimum, but he's 5-4-2-2. It remains to be seen whether he will bid or whether he'll just settle for three hearts. I suspect he will not bid a game, but we'll see.
Yeah, having hit partner and been successful, I think. Let's see. So they have to lose 2 diamonds at least, 2 hearts. Yeah, they have to figure out how to not lose 3 diamond tricks, which I'm not sure they can do.
Some of the modern experts are leading Rusno a lot. That's what I see Hampson's doing on this hand. in my partnerships, I like to play Rusno against no trump from length, but I haven't converted this to suit contract defense. What about the two of you? Are you seeing more people leading Rusno against suit contracts?
I think from my experience, it's becoming totally standard. I don't play it, so I can't speak to it, but almost all of my opponents are. Michael?
I have the same opinion. I usually don't, I don't play it, and I do see it a lot.
So Mitch, why are people playing it in your view? What do you like about it?
What I like about it against no trump is I get attitude for the jack. You know, if I lead the queen, I get attitude for the jack right away. And so that's a particularly useful thing. Also, we tend to sometimes lead 3-card suits. So if you lead the king, for example, and it's clear you have king, queen holding, partner right away knows whether you have length or not. So those are two things I like no trump. Against suit contracts, most of us at my age are curmudgeons, and we sort of do what we've always done, and we haven't switched, even though it may be right.
Yeah. So Al is telling us that originally Rusno was only versus suits, and now it became more popular against no trump, and now back to suits.
I like it a lot against no trump, I have to say. Of course,
Yeah,
the beauty of it is you forget once and then you never forget again.
Sure, we'll say that that's true.
I would say Mike and I probably have both had the sad experience of leading queen from king, queen third and having partner clear the suit with ace and one or something.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a Civil War battlefield and you're left lying on the ground. Yes, so we've all been there too.
So here we see Bramley and Woolsey have broken out Jordan. So this is a two no trump is their limit raise. Do you guys play? So this is one that I've seen both ways. Do you play that Jordan is always 4 cards, or some people play can be 3?
I've seen can be 3. I like it to have 4. You know, I think in these competitive auctions, you know, people are much more competitive than they ever were in the past. And the value of knowing you have that 9th trump is just huge. So to me, I'm old school. I like to have 4 trumps.
Can be 3, forcing to the 3 level. Surely you jest. No, I'm just
kidding. We do jest.
You know who told me that? I thought it was always 4. And then Larry Cohen, Mr. Law of Total Tricks, said, no, sometimes I do it with 3. I think same idea as the semi-forcing no trump problem, which is that if you have an unbalanced 3-card limit raise, you might choose to do that. Because redoubling is often problematic for later actions.
Sure.
I like to say that if you, for my students, if you redouble, it's because you want to confuse everyone, and also you might want to defend, right? So those are the 2 things that you accomplish when you redouble: is you confuse everyone and you want to defend. Is there a dog?
Apparently my 2 dogs didn't like one of the bids that were just made, so they've been sent to the other side of the house.
All right, so we find 3 spades, and it looks like it's going to go down again on sort of normal defense. I don't really see any end play things happening. Would have had a chance on a club lead, but no, not even then, probably.
Excellent judgment at both tables in not bidding 4 hearts and choosing to defend 3 spades.
Yes. So we see in the open room on our left, our first precision auction of the day. A strong club with 6, 7, 13, 17, 18 points. Followed by a diamond. Always disappointing when you open a strong club and your partner bids 1 diamond, which in almost every precision system I've ever heard of shows 0 to 8, or 0 to 7, 0 to something. So we'll see where they get to. Now, pass usually shows a balanced no trump type hand. So that would be 1 over whatever their no trump range is. Here, I think he was probably hoping for a balancing double from his partner. Do you think he was looking to penalize 1 no? Or was he going to go?
Penalize one spade.
Sorry, one spade. Thank you.
It's pretty hungry to do that when you know your partner is so weak, but when you're down 50 or 60, I guess it's not a terrible chance.
Well, he also might not have loved his chances of bidding 2 hearts here. He would have been much happier playing standard in this auction where he opens a heart, and then over a spade, he might be able to bid a no trump. But this will be an interesting situation. And he underleads an ace, which is going to be a big winner, I guess. Well, it's not like he has a lot of entries to the dummy. Let's see, he has to lose 3 spades, a heart, a club, and a diamond. So the author David Bird has a rule which is don't ever show 1-level contracts. It's too hard to analyze if you're doing any bridge writing. And I think here that's fair.
There's a fine play by Jeff Hampson, putting in the 8 of hearts.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter because he was probably going to get to the dummy anyway, but still, he put in the 8 of hearts, preserving the king, which later on, Joe Grew probably can't play another round of hearts.
Right. Now it turns out that Joe can sort of exit diamonds most of the time. And that'll be some sort of signaling for diamonds. And so Joe's gonna clear trump.
And he's going to make Jeff play the rest out of his hand.
Yeah, it's gonna be very unpleasant. So nice defense by Joe here, trying to get out of his hand as much as possible, including underleading the hearts to sort of start this all off.
Yeah, he kept his diamond exits for later,
Yeah.
which looks like it's going to have been critical.
Well, Jeff is going to cash the ace king of diamonds and then try to exit something, I guess.
Well, he might just play the clubs out of his hand to force a club trick before he gets tapped out too. I
Right.
think all roads would lead to him getting a club trick at some point.
Yeah.
If he plays 3
Well,
rounds,
he's tapped already.
if he plays 3 rounds of diamonds and Brad plays a 4th round of diamonds, then eventually, and he roughs, eventually he's going to come to a club or a heart anyway. So it's all going to lead to the same thing.
Yeah.
4 more tricks for North.
Right. That sounds right. 1, 2, 3. We came for action and we're watching 1 spade.
I think if he plays the jack of clubs out of his hand,
Yeah, that.
he might make a spade
Well,
because of
Brad has to exit a diamond.
doesn't matter. Now he can unblock the king of clubs. Joe must take, so he's going to get to the board.
Yes.
But this is what
That's
double
very
dummy
double
will tell you.
dummy.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's double dummy. I think, Danny, your analysis is excellent. We know that he knows his LHO has 5 hearts. He knows he has 4 spades. And he also knows he has a good hand. So envisioning him having either ace and 1 club or ace queen doubles of clubs, I think you're spot on. He could find this play.
This is a play that I would not
Can
find.
Joe get off of it by winning the first trick with the ace of clubs and playing a diamond? Now we're just getting if we're just doing total double dummy.
Oh yeah. I understand that Michael Rosenberg would call that a great play. I believe that he says that a good play.
Let's see, total
A great
double
play
dummy.
is a counter to a good play. A great play can never exist in the abstract.
And
I
Jeff
think
has-
because
Wow.
And
apparently
Jeff
that's
must have
true.
heard Dana Berkowitz speaking, and he has put the jack of clubs on the table.
Yeah, that was the one.
Okay.
And Joe Grew has heard Michael Berkowitz, and check this out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help, I think, because he can play. what happens here?
A good counter there by
Okay.
Group.
Yep.
And
Wow.
now, here we go. Here,
Now he has to-
here
Now
we
he exits a
go.
diamond
Yeah.
and plays Brad. That's very nicely played.
Pretty play by Jeff Hampson. And
Yeah.
these were, we saw a series, this was a ping pong match. We saw a series of excellent plays and counter plays. And Hampson was the last man standing. Kudos to all in that hand.
That was really cool. I understand why the analysts wouldn't want to tackle this kind of thing, but it's pretty cool that we got to watch that together.
Yes.
One giant kumbaya. Oh, I'm exhausted watching that hand.
Everyone likes seeing good bridge, so we're happy when people have good bridge, because we will see some bad bridge too. Even experts have mistakes, particularly, this is what day of this event?
You're right. Fatigue sets in.
Yeah,
Fatigue sets in. You're
We're
absolutely right.
definitely getting to the fatigue point, and the match is reasonably far apart. So lots of danger for everyone. Now, at the other table, they opened a non-precision one heart, and Bobby chose to respond. Bart bid two spades. This could be problems. Two spades is going to be much harder.
It's going to get passed out.
Yeah.
I don't think Bobby's going to be reopening with his fine 4 count.
Yeah, thrilled to see this auction end.
And Stevie's no doubt disappointed.
Yeah, he would have loved the reopening double here.
Yeah, okay.
He has the right shape for it.
He just,
It's always when you want it most, the partner doesn't cooperate.
yep, sadly, Stevie's waiting for Godot.
All right, so back at the other table in the open room, we've seen Greco open a heart with 6, 9, 10 points. Is that an opening bid for you guys? White against red?
I think precision, it's very common in precision.
I might open 2 hearts. Yeah, Al likes 2 hearts. Dana, would you preempt pass? Would you do anything?
I probably, oh man. I
You have
probably
so
would
much-
open 2 hearts too. I like it.
You have so much junk, right? Like queens and jacks. Your offensive potential is just so minimal.
I would open 1 heart playing precision, and I would open 2 hearts with this hand playing 2/1. I like the 2 heart bid playing 2/1 because with shortness and spades, I take up some bidding room. Partner's probably not going to bury me. I'm white on red, and I have a good suit.
Yeah.
Speaking of partner not bearing you, Jeff, I think, is going to take a whack at this with 4 trump, a singleton, ace king of diamonds. Yeah.
And it looks like they'll bludgeon it for down 1 if they double.
2 diamonds, a heart, a club. They might get down 2.
They might.
It's not so easy,
Lead
particularly
the
if he
king of
starts.
diamonds. Lead the king of diamonds and underlead a heart.
It would be a good start.
I
But
would-
even if you just play ace of hearts and a heart, club lead doesn't do as much, although declarer has to be careful. I guess it can draw 3 rounds of trump and take another club finesse.
Alice asking what would happen if you opened 2 hearts. Oof. Would you overcall 2 spades with the west hand vulnerable? Probably not.
Well, the problem is if you don't, and it goes 3 hearts pass, you're screwed. It's the kind of thing that if you bid 2 spades, you're nervous, and if you pass, you're nervous, and it's random what the right thing to do is. I'd like a little bit better diamond holding or spots in my diamond suit to do with this kind of hand. I love the stiff heart, but if you gave me the 10-9 queen 10-9 fourth of diamonds, I probably would bid 2 spades, but in this one I would probably decline.
Yeah, it's close.
It's an annoying hand because you suspect that your partner might be over there with a decent hand, maybe even 4 spades, but long hearts might not have a double, natural double.
Yeah, 2 hearts is going to be a big winner here because it's going to go 2 hearts past 4 hearts. That would be end game.
Well, 4 spades is going to probably go down 2. I initially said down 1, but Michael, you're right. I think 4 spades is going to go down 2 here because something messy is about to happen.
It gets very complicated.
It gets very sad if you're the declarer. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah. Well, if he wins it and draws 3 rounds of trump and exit, well, then his diamond position is very exposed. So the defense has to, but the defense has to figure out to play diamonds. Not.
Well, the declarer might be playing diamonds too. I mean,
Right. Do you win it and play it
there's a lot of ways to go wrong in this hand.
Yeah, this is danger zone for spades. So it turns out bid 1 heart and let your opponents bid a lot.
In the other match, Kevin Dwyer and Sean chose to defend 1 spade double on this hand.
And did
So-
they find good play?
The drama is real.
We were excited with 1 spade undoubled on the last. Wait, on board 51 or 50?
Board 50, board 50.
50, the one that we were excited about, the exit of the jack of clubs in 1 spade.
Exactly.
Are they playing that hand right now?
They are playing that hand right now.
Let's switch over and watch them play that hand. I think that everyone would
Maya
enjoy
can
that.
probably open that in the bottom right quadrant. By the way, so I know some of you aren't super experienced with Love Bridge, but you're watching us, so you can see all 4 screens here. You can also choose to open this view that Maya has for us. If you just go from like the home screen at viewgraph.lovebridge.com, you can click on that and click on any of the matches and click on match view. And even there, you can open us up in one of the little quadrants. That's what I usually do when I'm kibitzing. So here, you were right, they won the ace and switched to a diamond. And now Hampson's gonna have the next choice to make in this chess match. I don't know, I'm gonna cheat and look at double dummy because I have no idea what the right play is. It certainly feels,
Is there a double dummy tool in Love Bridge for all of our watchers?
there is. If you click on the DDS little button in the bottom left corner, it'll show you. Here, according to double dummy, all roads lead to down 2. Certainly at the table, I don't know whether I'd try the ace of hearts or maybe a spade.
Well,
Maybe he's just gonna try to tap. He's gonna switch play.
Eric Greco played, sorry to interrupt. Eric Greco played his lowest club when the club was led, which makes it easier for Jeff to switch to passive defense of ace of hearts and a heart.
Right, with partner having a
If
club.
he gotten a high club, that might have led to a different continuation.
Very good point, Mitch. Well, we'll see what Kit chooses to open this hand south. They are playing precision in this position.
They're playing precision all the time with a very complicated relay system, which can be very effective.
So he's choosing a multi 2
Yeah,
diamond.
Chris,
So-
Kit likes to play 2 diamonds as multi and 2 hearts is the 3 suited hand with short diamonds.
Okay, by the way, for those of you watching who are like, what the hell are these systems? You do not have to learn them. We're going to translate them. And even if you're playing against Kit and Bart, and if you ever sit down and play against Kit and Bart, you're going to be in for a lot of explanations, but don't try to prepare for everything. Like, come up with what you bid over their 1 club opening, come up with what you bid over their 1 diamond opening, and then the rest of it, just let them go and, you know, double artificial bids for leads. That's it. Like, don't go crazy trying to figure it out. Just translate what their bids mean. So here, multi is very popular. Everyone in Europe plays multi. In the US, it's not even allowed at the club, so go figure. But 2 diamonds shows a good opening in the major, and 4 clubs I guess is a splinter, or it might just be pick your major. It's probably pick your major.
Al says we're asking for a transfer to the major.
Yeah, so they want to play it from the right side, which is from the south hand.
From the north hand, probably, right?
Oh, it's a transfer. You're right. I don't know why I want
Dana, how much do you like correcting your brother? I just want to know.
so much.
One of my favorite things.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why he wants
Let
to
me guess.
play-
Let me guess who's older.
I don't know why he wants to play it from his hand as opposed to from south.
Well,
Yeah.
usually the big hand is going to be the partner of the preemptor, and they're going to want the lead coming up to them. So they probably can do it either way, but more often you'd want the, in theory, stronger hand being the declare.
Yeah, but you have ace, king, ace. It feels like you don't necessarily need, you have no position to protect in this one.
You don't, but on the other hand, it might be more difficult in some situations for the opponents to defend because they don't get to see your hand.
I guess. It's interesting.
I'm not sure.
Interesting
I mean,
choice.
that's my logic, but I'm not, it's not compelling.
No, but four hearts will make, I think. Let's see, a spade, the diamond finesse is on side, the club, they have lots of trump. They can throw, they sort of have a little bit of work to do because they have to rough two clubs, but they'll make, I think they'll make without a problem. It's nice to have ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. When you're thinking about roughing something, it's a good sign that you don't have to be over roughed. One spade double went down one, so they did not declare it as nicely as Jeff Hansen.
It's hard to say. There was a different lead. He actually did lead it. It looks like he led the jack of diamonds. So the whole play was different.
Yeah, the jack of diamonds lead might have given declare some problems. Although I can see why Joe did not want to lead the jack of diamonds. It's not, Jack Doubleton is not anyone's favorite lead.
Sometimes
course.
they make you lead something, even when all you have are aces, unsupported
Yeah.
aces. It's terrible.
Actually, this reminds me of a cute story that was told to me where Tony Forrester, English expert, has a student that he's always been instructed never to lead away from kings against suit contracts. They're playing rubber bridge. His partner's on lead. He goes into a trance, and Forrester announces to the table that his partner has all four kings. Yes, you get these pearls from me. What can I tell you?
That's a classic one. I like
Yeah.
it.
So he's still on pace for down 2 in the open room, which is, let's see, is it now over? It's not quite over yet.
He'll be leading a club at this point, I predict.
Well, the nice thing is the double always says that every single card in his hand will lead to down 2. He has to lose one more trick, it looks like, no matter what happens. A diamond might be the best play. Yeah, force North to guess. I didn't see what had happened up to that point, but North guessed well, quickly. All
Mitch,
right.
have you played on the tablets that they're using?
I haven't played in, I've played on tablets at home in BBO or JLAL tournaments. And I have to tell you, I think it's a good thing they're doing it, but I'm terrified because sometimes I hit the wrong button. So I think, dealing with this to, deal with the cheating issue, it's a good thing. I think it's really important in high level bridge to eliminate those kinds of issues. But I do think there are some mechanical issues, and it's a terrifying feeling when you press the wrong button.
That's definitely true. I think that they have measures set up to prevent that. So if there's either a 3 or 5 second delay between when you select a card or a bid and when it gets accepted. So you have a little bit of a window that you can set to your preference to take your bid back. And also there's an option for playing of cards that's a drag and drop as opposed to a click or a double click, which I think also is trying to help cut down on those mechanical issues. I haven't heard of too many mechanical issues from the tablets for that reason, unlike BBO where their mechanical issues are constant.
Right. That's an excellent point. You know, this is the future, and most of the people I speak with who are playing with the tablets like the tablets.
I will say, I saw the other day in the finals of a match, someone from Jack 9 in a position where declarer played the ace of trump, played the Jack, and that cost the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I don't know whether that was an intentional play or not, but that was like a 3-imp difference of an under trick. That was the difference in one of the matches. And I have no idea, but it certainly looked like it might be a misclick because it just seemed like a very weird play.
I like to get up early and play in the East Coast 7 o'clock games from time to time with one of my partners. And it's amazing how frequently, about every other session, one of us has a disastrous lead or bid because we pressed the wrong button.
Did you say 7 o'clock East Coast time?
Yeah, because it's 10 o'clock your time, or Dana's time. I get up and then I go to work after playing 2 hours of bridge. It's a guilty pleasure.
No, 7 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah, so it's 10 o'clock East Coast time.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, you were saying 7 East Coast time, and that was.
Oh, I misspoke.
That was gonna be really early.
It's also fun for me to play against people I don't know. I kind of like that too. So.
Oh yeah, well, playing on BBO is always a mixed bag.
Yeah, it is a mixed bag. Some people prefer it, and I think going forward, we're going to have 2 versions of bridge because they both have different pluses and minuses. I still strongly prefer being face to face. I like the social element of it. When my opponent has a problem in person, I can try and figure out what that problem is. I enjoy that aspect of the game. If they hesitate online, they could be talking to their spouse or going to the kitchen or the restroom. It's totally different.
Yeah. All right. So in the open room, we have a new board. West has opened precision. No, they're not playing precision in the seat. So a regular old diamond for reasons. You open a diamond, not a club. Is it when they're vulnerable or when they're opponents?
It's usually when they're vulnerable, they play standard, and when they're not vulnerable, they play precision.
Yeah, so he just chose to open a diamond instead of a club for reasons. Diamond to spade, double. That's a normal negative double. Redouble showed exactly 2-card fit and values. And Brad chose 1 no trump. This was maybe an anti-lead directing 1 diamond call.
He's looking for an opportunity to create some action where it might work out, and it doesn't matter on this hand, but it's certainly a valiant effort.
Yes. And well, a diamond lead would have been worse for him, so this is progress. Not that this lead is so good for him.
It appears that Brad's going to need a crowbar to get up to 7 tricks with these 2 hands. So we'll see.
Right. Ace of spades and then switch to what? Or continue. I think he's just going to continue a spade.
I think he's going to continue spades.
So let's say he plays ace of spade and a spade. You win the king and play a club.
You probably duck the second spade now.
Why? He knows that it's 5-2. North overcalled the spade.
Oh, yeah.
Well, North overcalled a spade. I would be very tempted to win the second spade, play a club to the queen, hoping it wins, and then exit a 3rd round of spades. But obviously, we can see that's not going to be a happy result. The queen of clubs will be won by the ace. And
well, but now nothing. It's not like South can do anything too harmful. They're going to.
Oh, you're right.
If they play a diamond, setting up your diamond trick, You're not doing too badly. So let's see, he's playing the king, he plays a club to the queen. So now he's gonna have a club trick and 2 heart tricks and a spade trick. And I think he's gonna have to perforce get a diamond or.
I agree. Yeah, but where's that 7th trick coming from?
Well, we're not at the 7 yet, but down 2 would have been bad. So down 1 is probably
No,
not.
I see a path to 6 for sure. He's going to need the opponents to play clubs for him. Of course, if the queen.
Well, his
loses
opponents
the
have to do
ace,
something.
yeah, the opponents are going to have to do something, so that could get him to. If they play back a club.
A heart, which was very in play. Now he has to guess what to do. He guessed wrong. These are all just total guesses. He didn't really want to let North in. But now maybe he's going to play the spade that you suggested earlier. Although he can't really because he's going to squeeze himself. What 2 pitches would he make happily? I guess no, you can't do that. I don't know. Very complicated.
Well, the straightforward line now is I think North is probably marked with the ace, more likely to have the ace of diamonds for their vulnerable overcall. So one could play a diamond to the king and a club to the 10. That would get him 4 more tricks. If clubs were 3-3, that would get him up to that would be the whole shebang.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting that he chose to play the king of hearts here. Life is just so much easier if the queen of hearts is on side.
Well, one could argue that's a Greek gift. Why would it? You know, they're playing.
Yeah, it does feel a little easy.
And why would South give him that? So there are elements in poker in bridge, and that, you know, he's going to get the bad news in hearts. Maybe North had queen and 1 heart. I'm sure North will let go a diamond.
Yeah, so he's playing for what you thought, which was something like Queen Doubleton offside.
I apologize for my distraction. My cats are simultaneously hunting a wasp and potentially each other.
Well, once they're in hunt mode, they just got to find anything that they can eat.
They could come out here and meet my dogs. That'd be exciting.
So it looks like we're going to wind up in the same contract. We'll see how many tricks they wind up getting. Although I suspect that Bramley will lead a diamond because there wasn't this lead prohibiting 1 diamond opening. Al is allergic to cats, but I don't think he can. I don't think from this distance it will be a problem.
Probably safe, although their fur does get on everything, so you can never know.
Interesting. Kit has doubled back in.
Ooh.
Well, it strikes me with Kit's hand that the double's a nice bid, trying to get a pickup here. If partner's got a good enough hand to sit for it, I suspect his partner's probably going to bid 2 diamonds. But I like his double a lot.
Not really what Kit wants to hear from his partner.
Brad's now found out the bad news in the heart suit, and he will either exit a spade or he'll play a diamond to the king. We shall see.
Yeah, so diamond to the king does have a lot of catastrophe potential, but he's sort of going to have that potential even if he exits the spade.
Well, the ace of diamonds again in this hand is marked in the North hand because of the overcall.
That's
all right,
true.
he exits a spade and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But a diamond to the king, and if it happens to lose for no particular reason, then he would certainly lose almost all the rest of the tricks. But you're right, it doesn't feel like that's what's happening.
Well, Eric is going to come under some pressure when as the spades get cashed.
If he chooses to, he might just exit a low diamond.
Well, if Brad is the jack of diamonds,
There he goes. He did not choose to cash his.
a fine play by Hampson. And now no unblocked by Greco. Okay, let's see if that's good or bad play.
It doesn't really matter. Well, we'll see if he finesses for the jack of clubs. He is in fact running out of tricks.
You know, it's a subtle play, but the failure to cash his spades by Jeff Hampson, fine expert play, so that his partner can comfortably defend.
Yeah, it's a really nice play, and we'll see whether this leads to down 2, which I think is always, or down 3 potentially if he plays a club to the king. Oh, sorry, East West has 4 tricks ready, so down 2. It would be down 2.
He'll probably take a club finesse and get out for down 1 is what I predict, but we'll see.
Bramley, oh sorry, they're in 2 spades.
As we predicted in the other room, Kit Woolsey made a nice reopening double. Bart Bramley's overcall was too weak to sit for a no trump double. He bid his 5-card diamond suit, and Kit corrected to 2 spades. And that's where they'll play.
Yeah.
Al pointed out that Kip probably had the option of redoubling after the auction when a club, a spade double to him, which many play, as Michael was saying before, shows exactly 2 spades and a competitive values. He didn't, so I wonder why not.
My guess is that's your point's well taken, Dana. My thinking is that he was hoping that the opponents had been a no trump and he could double. So he was just trying, whereas if he bid originally, he wasn't going to have that opportunity.
This is one of those hands that I often get wrong at the table, because as his partner, I would be thinking, what does he have if he has, if he's correcting this to 2 spades? He can't have that other hand, but it's a really good point that he was looking for some edge.
Yeah.
You know, you're down 50 or 60 with one segment to go, and you're looking for some ways to create some action, and these hands simply really haven't provided them. We saw early on that you could make 5 diamonds, and that they didn't get there, but most of these hands, there hasn't been the opportunity for a lot of swings.
It's true. It's always interesting which hands we think are going to be swings and which ones we turn out to be swings, because sometimes systems get in the way, or decisions get in the way.
Now, trying to create some action on the next board, Joe Groove has opened a 9 count.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's a little hungry, but again, he is trying to create some action, and we'll see whether this does anything good for his team.
Yeah.
Well, for a terrible 9 count, he's got a lot of 10s.
I guess that makes you. I guess that, Dana, that makes you a glass is half full per kind of person.
I think it does. Okay, sorry.
4-3-3, but I had all of the 10s. Is North worth a red raise to 2 spades, 4-3-3? Assuming that there's some sort of negative double happening.
I would raise with an ace. I mean, first of all, if the negative double makes it easier, because there's probably 2 ways of raising the 2 spades. And I think an ace, I'm going to always bid with this hand when I have an ace.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting. So 3 diamonds will not allow us to make that call. What is 3 diamonds? Mixed, usually 6. So he chose not to look for hearts at all.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
He's seen Joe bid enough to know that maybe they just want to get in the way.
Well, even so, he could have a 4-4 heart fit. I mean, so there's something we don't know about their methods here, that he's not bidding hard.
There's nothing, we might not know it, but there's nothing Al doesn't know about their methods.
I would bet on Al, that's true.
Well, he is precision limited, is Al's point, but that's, they might still have a hard fit. Greco balanced back in with a double. That's a nice call. I think it's just going to fetch 3 spades from partner. And they have to lose 3 clubs and a heart.
I really like Greco's balance here because, first of all, there was no negative double. His partner, he could have cut 5 hearts. They could be called for 4 hearts. He obviously has a max and he can handle anything his partner does. A spade bid or bidding one of the unbid suits. That's just a perfect reopening double.
Yeah. And as long as the defense doesn't touch hearts, he has those 2 heart tricks here, right? Yeah, hearts are frozen, so he's got to lose. Uh-oh.
If Joe Grew had the 8 of hearts, he could switch to the 10. But he doesn't have that.
No. But Brad now has set himself up to potentially be unplayed. Although they can't really do everything. They can't draw trump and eliminate diamonds.
Well, at some point, Brad will be able to once the ace of spades is dislodged, Brad would be able to exit the king of diamonds because the queen will be stranded in the board.
Well, no, he played 2 rounds of clubs here. So if you just cast a second spade before doing that, wouldn't?
Well, he was afraid he was going to get end played, so he did that.
Wouldn't Brad have been in trouble if he had just cashed a second spade first?
All right, the die is cast.
Yeah, down 1.
Well, I'd say we should switch to the other room, but that match has been as tight as this one. So
yeah, pretty much all day today. These have been fairly close, and both the nickel team and the Spectre team had pretty big leads heading into today. So they were very happy to see these 13-13, 9-9 kind of results today. I guess the first session today, Nickel and Fleischer had some swings back and forth in sets 5 and 6. But
the other day, I had the pleasure of doing the commentary for a nickel match against a young Finn Kolesnik, Kevin Rosenberg team, and that went right down to the wire on the last board. The nickel team ended up winning by 2. But one of the things I like to see is we've got Kevin Rosenberg, who's one of the bright young stars of the game, and we've got Finn Kolesnik, who's also a rising star, holding their own against the team that's dominated the world scene for a couple decades.
Yeah, that was a very exciting match. And I can tell you that I recently had the opportunity to play with Amber Lynn on a team, and she's terrific as well. So it's pretty exciting to see these young American players doing so well and kicking some butt.
Remember when we used to be
and you know, this really started with Michael and Debbie Rosenberg starting a program to train juniors, which is just having a profound effect. And you know, Bridge is struggling to stay relevant in all respects. And Amber Lynn, Finn Kolesnik, Kevin Rosenberg, Emma Kolesnik, there's a whole bunch of these talented young players coming up through their program.
Yeah,
Alex Kolesnik's now running that program, doing a great job.
Yeah, it's great. And there's a lot of young players who, I think they had a new youngest life master something like that, and people just playing in these tournaments. And I think that one of the things that tournament bridge needs to do is just be, when we see someone who's 12 years old or 13 years old, just treat them like an opponent that you're playing. Don't speak down to them, and don't get upset if they show reaction. You know, you have to be nice to people, be excited for people to be excited about bridge.
I was involved in financing and producing a film called The Kids Table, where 4 people in their late 20s, early 30s decided to try and learn how to play bridge and play in tournaments. And it was actually a wonderful experience for them. 2 of them are going to continue to play bridge. 2 of them aren't. But I remember one of them screaming in frustration, "I can't believe I'm getting killed by my grandparents."
Yeah. Well, it's certainly an experience. I mean, Dan and I were young people in bridge, so we know that it's always, oh, it's so nice to see young people playing bridge, which is fine, but it also reminds you that you're different. It's nice to have areas where young people can play with young people and be able to compete with peers and eventually graduate into this kind of competition.
You know, and it's not just, you know, we want to keep the game alive, not just for the top players, but there's an app called Tricky Bridge that anyone can get their hands on that young people particularly like. And we now have programs for high school and college students where, without any expense to them, we're teaching bridge. So it, you know, there's a little bit of quicksand involved, but there's many of us who are working hard to try and keep the game alive.
Right, and you can find out more about that program if you go to BridgeWiz. You've gotten emails from the ACBL about that, WHIZ, and you can also find it at the ACBL Education Foundation if you just Google it. I think it's acbleducationfoundation.org, but that's a long thing to look up if you just search for it. Mitch and I are both on that board, so.
Free plug, good job, Michael.
There we go. Well,
good.
since we were talking about all the programs that we're working on,
I had this master plan to do this.
yes. Meanwhile, we just haven't, the 2 things are happening that we're not talking about the bridge. 1, these matches are blowouts, and 2, the boards have been kind of boring so far. So hopefully we'll get some interesting boards coming up. On that last one, we just totally missed what the open room did, but it looked like they got to a normal 3-no trump. We'll check that when we see it happen in this closed room. The closed room is going to play 3 spades that we saw defeated at the other table. All right, back to, should we go back to bridge?
I'm afraid
Sure.
that's our job here.
So on board 55, we skipped 54. We'll go back to it later. South opens a spade, and wow, look at that no trump call. This is not the standard action here, I don't think.
I think it's completely reasonable. He's got, you know, again, if he had the king of spades, no one would question it. And in theory, if there's a diamond finesse that needs to be taken, it's through the person who opened the bidding. So let me, in the grand scheme of things, this is hardly the worst bid you'll ever see.
No, it's certainly in play. You know, you have 14 and you have a nice diamond suit, so it's worth an upgrade, and spades double stopped. And it's creating some real action here. 5 hearts is off 3 aces to begin with. And a
rough and the king of clubs.
And a king of clubs. This contract has issues. But it's not clear who, so Hampson will definitely double it. Yeah, Greco doesn't know what's going on because 4 spades is wide ranging.
It's not a tragedy because 4 spades was going to make.
4 spades was going to make pretty easily. It just depends on how really terribly this gets defeated.
I would always put 5 hearts, so it must be wrong.
Yeah, well, a spade lead gives you some chances because now you can take the free finesse and throw away 2 diamonds.
He's going to lead the stiff queen of diamonds, probably. Okay.
Which is going to be a real tough thing for that. It seemed like a normal queen of diamonds lead, but I was just saying that if they happen to find a spade lead, he was going to have some chances, but this is going to go poorly. Ace of diamonds, diamond rough, club, diamond rough. King of clubs. Now we only get one more trick. King of clubs, then a spade, I suppose. Finally, when it doesn't matter anymore. Very good defense.
There really hasn't been an opportunity for the Fleischer team to make a comeback.
No.
Really hasn't been the hands for it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a costly bid because they got it all.
Oh, on 54, apparently Joe made an unconventional one no trump board. We can take a look at it, Maya, if you want to. Look at that one. Well, it'll come up in the closed room in a second. They're still finishing up 3 spades. But they have broken hearts. Did it matter? No, I guess it doesn't matter.
In the other match, Sean is in the same position that Joe Grew was. The auction's gone a spade, a no trump, 4 spades to him, and he's got the queen jack 9 6 of hearts.
Yeah.
Giving it a look.
Understandably. So if we look over at the open room, what would you choose with Hampson's hand? He has 5 spades and 6 hearts, king, queen, 9 6.
Whew.
Well, there's
Everything's in play.
I think most people would pass, but I think that I mean, look, 2 hearts could be a big winner, and your spades are weak, so it's not unreasonable. Now, if it goes 2 hearts, 2 no, are you able to show spades in their methods? I suspect they can show 4 in the other major, but not 5.
I'm not sure anyone has a method to showing a 6-5 hand after preempting. That's a very specific hand type.
Yeah, that would come up every other week, no doubt.
Oh yeah, so you can open a multi 2 diamonds and hope that your partner has a strong preference for one or the other. Oh, I have a great hand if you have hearts. Great. Oh, I have a great hand if you have spades. Great. So let's see. 3 spades. We're still playing spades here. He's going to go down 1 and 3 spades also. All right. How is 4 hearts doing?
Jeff just made an interesting, one of them made an interesting play of running the 10 of hearts.
Well, that was certainly a big winner. So now we can finesse for the jack again, picking up the suit. And lose a diamond and a spade. Or you can try the king of clubs now, throwing a diamond.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to go.
Yeah. Use his entry, because a spade switch is a little scary.
He's going to use his entry to play another heart.
Yeah. Oh, he made 3 spades. They discarded. It's at the end here. How do you make 3 spades? Let's see. started the defense the same way.
I saw the king of hearts switch.
Yeah, he switched to the king of hearts, but they still have problems. He ran spades. And then, oh, he Weinstein threw a heart instead of a diamond. That was a heart play. I'm not sure why he held on to his diamonds, actually. He probably knew declare was singleton. Interesting. So Weinstein got the end position wrong there. And as we mentioned, there might be some fatigue. I always feel like this is unfair. I wouldn't want anyone watching all of the cards I play ever, right? Like that, people would say, how could you possibly ever play like this? Because honestly, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has lapses on one board, on many boards. Even at this high level, it's a matter of limiting your mistakes. So getting an end position wrong, for example, is something that happens to everyone. It's just not all the time do we see every mistake people make. So on board 54, which is what they're playing on the right screen, they're playing in a peaceful two spades. Joe opened one no trump with that East hand. 11 count. Classic, we're behind in the match sort of behavior. We'll see if he bids out to 3 hearts. You're behind in the match. Would you think about passing 2 spades doubled with Kit's hand?
I don't think it's winning bridge.
Think about it. Yes. Do it with 4 hearts.
I don't think I would either, but he is giving it a long think. I don't know, your partner didn't do anything after a diamond passes spade. It's hard to believe. But maybe they didn't do anything because they have only 3 hearts. Another doubled contract in the open room. It's amazing that we've had a lot of doubled contracts and yet not a lot of swingy boards.
That is interesting. I feel like passing 2 spades doubled is particularly exciting, maybe at match points, but at imps, it's just tough to come back to your teammates with those big minus scores.
I just think it's too big a position.
And yet,
but he went for it, creating a swing.
Kit says, let's do it.
So what is going to happen? 2 clubs, 2
Queen of
spades,
clubs lead.
heart.
I think they're going to beat it a trick.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, we have a director call.
Now, if they in let's say it goes, for the sake of argument, 3 rounds of clubs, and now the declare played king jack of spades, running it, and south covered, they can still tap that. They can still get in and play a hard to down partner. It's going to go down. They're going to score 2. They're going to score 6 tricks.
2 hearts, 2 clubs, and
too
at
much.
least 1 spade.
2 hearts, 2 clubs, 2 headaches, 6 tricks.
A spade and something else. Another spade, in fact. Oh, interesting.
Hey, that's a dad lead. What do you lead against doubled part score? Close your eyes and lead a trump.
Yeah, but
will it work here? I don't know if it's going to work here.
I think it's a
No, it says you can make it.
disaster.
I
Yeah.
think it makes it now. That's funny. That according to double dummy, and again, double dummy is not everything, but just the 9 or the jack is making and the king is down 2. It's just funny to me. Because you can now, yeah, basically just give up a spade.
I think the idea is if you play the 9 or the jack and now you run diamonds, if south roughs in, you get to over rough.
Oh, you think there's a coup sort of position here? Yeah.
Well, let's look at 8, 9, 10, ace. You play.
No, you don't have a higher card than the queen. It doesn't matter. They're roughing the natural trip. I think you can almost draw trump if you play the 9. I think it's sort of the idea.
You can't.
No, you can't quite draw trump.
You have to be able to rough a club and dummy at some point.
So let's see, you play 8, 9, 10. There's something to be said for just ducking, right? And then you can finesse the queen the next time around.
No, I don't think they'll do that. Well, we'll see.
I don't know. He's not going to play it quickly. I promise this much. Doesn't matter whether you're up 50 or down 50. Random doubled part score. I think he's going to give a good hard think to. Dana, do you think Dad would approve of this lead? I think Dad would approve of this lead.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I think he approves this lead. I don't know that he would approve of the pass.
I mean, but he also says when God deals you queen, jack 10, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem when you're an agnostic.
9, 13, 14. So another no trump opening by Joe and Brad. This time Brad has a 5-4-2-2 hand. Now this one, Dana, you asked about these these no trump bids when you're 5-4-2-2. This one, Larry and Dad are also convinced that you're supposed to open a spade with these. Are you a no trump bidder with this shape, or would you bid one spade, assuming that we were in range? And here we're out of range for most people.
Well, here's the problem. The problem when you play precision is you have to have a mechanism to help partner distinguish when you open a 10 count and a 15 count. So you'll see hands open a no trump in precision because you want to show the upper range, even though it looks like a queer bid. So this looks like a hand that screams for opening one spade, and yet if you're playing precision, you open a spade. It's hard for partner to envision you having a very nice 14 count because you can't very well jump to 3 clubs over a no trump, for example. So it is more common than you might imagine to open one no trump with this kind of hand.
Interesting.
Two can play the game of suppressing their 5-card spade suit.
Joe Grew has ice running through his veins, and he is capable of doing most anything. And I say that is the highest compliment possible.
They have to.
He's trying to create a swing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the director is also at the table. So in addition to having to think for a long time, the director's at the table in the closed room. But Greco not in on any of the joking that's happening. Bids a normal 4 diamonds. So 2 diamonds was diamonds and a major, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the long-awaited play of the hand and 2 spades doubled has now continued.
Yeah. Oh, it says you can't duck it. Okay. Oh, because you can't, doesn't want to let them switch.
Did Brad just unilaterally bid 4 spades? Sorry, partner.
3-0 wasn't alerted.
Really?
No.
That's so interesting, even 4 spades.
This is one of those things where, like, you know, everything is the same on the scorecard, right? Oh, we came back with 4 spades. How'd you get there? Don't worry about it. How do you get to 4 spades. What was your auction? Don't worry about it.
Market Abashi.
We got to our normal.
Market Abashi, when he started out, he played with Mike Spohn. They used to play on teams with Barry Crane. And when they'd have a poor result, they would make up the auction to go back to compare. Because Crane had such a temper. They'd make up the auction and the defense to explain how somehow the opponents had beaten them or whatever had happened. And Crane was always incredulous and always fell for it.
Yeah.
There are stories like that about, if you're down one in some absurd contract, like picking the normal one, just mutually with your opponents.
Right.
He's now in danger of taking over tricks here. And in fact, he will take over tricks. He's just going to draw trump and play diamonds, right? Well, this wasn't the swing they were hoping for.
Oh yeah, with the diamonds coming in. That's a lot of tricks.
Just a lot.
I'm reasonably sure that Kit Woolsey would have bid hearts if they weren't down by trying to create a swing.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Unfortunately, this one's backfired.
Yeah, don't judge anyone by their actions when they're down 60. They're just trying to generate imps one way or the other. And this one was the other. I mean,
Jan is pointing out that many of the director calls are smoke breaks. That's interesting. Jen, are they unable to open the doors in the room maybe they can't just walk into the courtyard. The trials are held in a hotel that has a lovely interior courtyard. I see.
That makes sense. Well,
The moral of the story is smoking is bad for you.
So is
what do you
doubling.
mean? He's gonna go
doubling
smoke.
2 spades.
He's gonna go smoke and win like 40 imps while he's gone. Joe down 2, or sorry, Bobby down 2. No, we got an overcheck. What are you talking about? Yeah. Did the other match get any closer?
No.
Or is Chris home to make dinner for Dana tomorrow?
There you go. That's a silver lining.
That's what he said to me. He said, it's good news either way. Either we come back 60 imps and it's great, or I'll see you tomorrow.
That's a good husband.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Yeah, the Rosenthal team has had some miraculous comebacks. They didn't have this one in them. I blame Aaron. It's almost certainly Aaron's fault. I just want it broadcasted. If anyone's recording this, just let it be known that it was almost certainly Aaron Silverstein's fault that this team lost.
For anybody who is not familiar with my brother, this is sarcasm. This is.
I am being 100% serious that this is definitely Aaron's fault, and he should be ashamed of himself for everything he's done. All right, no, that's not true. Anyway, in the so what board are we up to in both rooms? So the open room is up to board 60. The closed room is still at 55. So we have some catching up to do. This was the one where we saw 5 hearts. We've had the same start to the auction. So Bobby also overcalled 1 no trump with this 14 count. Have we seen the same auction at every table so far? I know you were saying that Shen had the same position.
He did. He passed with the East hand in this position, which was obviously more winning than bidding.
Rosenthal's just created a big swing at the other table. And why don't we switch over to that match?
Yeah. Okay, sure. Maya, if you're there, can you switch us over to the Rosenthal match? Let's see. The real opponent at this point, by the way, in all of these matches is the board number, because as we get closer to board 60, there's just less time to come back. Yeah, so here, 5 clubs redoubled. Let's just take a look at that. That looks like a fun. All right. So it went pass, pass, and Shen opened a no trump with shape that you wouldn't typically open a no trump, although it's legal, right? You can legally open a no trump with a 15 count, and I don't hate it here. You have a real rebid problem with this east hand. So while I think it's sort of a swinging action, I think I might even open it in a normal situation. You guys?
I would
Yes.
open a no trump.
Yeah, so this is the sort of hand that you might open with a singleton, because opening a club is bad, opening a diamond is bad, and as a result, the no trump isn't so bad. All right, so South doubled, which was, I guess, just penalties, some sort of strong hand. West I can't see if that's a pass or redoubled to try to get out in 2 clubs or 2 diamonds or somewhere. East bid 2 clubs, that was forced. South bid 3 clubs, showing their suit. North bid 4 hearts now, and now they were in some sort of strange position where they didn't know what for sure what was going on. So Bathurst, by the way, we had discussed that pass and 2 hearts and 3 hearts were all possibilities. He chose pass. So now he bid 4 hearts.
That's outrageous.
4 spades he thought was key card and hearts. 5 clubs, they thought that was a key card response. Then they had,
Oh, no.
yeah. So this is when we talk about everyone has bad days. This was a bad day. And let's see. They were in a lot of trouble to begin with. Did they somehow get, oh, because the clubs were 5-1. That
This
wasn't.
turns out to be a very nasty and unlucky hand.
So they were bad and they were punished for being bad. And now the heart doesn't even make you over there, sadly.
Oh, that's really sad.
That does seem sad.
The no trump opener didn't even have his doubleton heart.
Yeah, they roughed the second heart. Oh, come on. These are the things that would certainly
Mike
make you
and
nervous.
Al, do you guys ever open, so with that east hand, do you ever open a diamond with 5 clubs and 4 diamonds in an awkward rebid? Or do you always open either a club or a no trump or some other fudge?
Playing standard, I'd be very reasonable to open a diamond and bid 2 clubs. Playing precision, I must confess, I would open a no trump in most styles, to tell you the truth. I want to describe range. I play puppet stamen. I play all these things that hands that when I was a younger person, I would not have dreamed of opening a no trump. I've come over to the dark side.
Yeah, I like opening a no trump. I mean, if I don't have no trump range, I'm going to do something else. I take it on a case-by-case basis, and I sort of do it on a case-by-case basis. The idea for most intermediate players is you just want to look ahead of how the auction is going to go. And if you know what your next bid's going to be on the normal auction where your partner bids your singleton, then great. You can think that far ahead and be fine. And sometimes your partner does something surprising and you have to figure it out, or the opponent do something annoying. But if you don't know what your partner's next bid is, what your next bid is going to be when your partner does the normal thing, then think about your first bid and try something else. It's always better to just have a thinking plan. 4 spades, pass, double. So we've seen a redoubled contract, a doubled contract, and now
This
it
is
looks
going to
like,
get passed out.
no. Kevin Dwyer with the redouble. I don't
no.
blame him.
Well, he's swinging. He's got a good hand, and
He does
the
have a
price
good
of playing
hand.
poker is just going up.
Yes, and it might make on some leads. Not that one. Let's see. What can he play? Ace.
I think 4 spades has to make.
It went down at the other table. Did it make it the other table? No, it went down one at the other table. You have 2 club losers. You have a heart loser and a spade loser. So, oh, you can throw one of them.
But the heart can go. The heart can go away on the.
Yeah, but then they can draw a trump.
You don't have time to do everything, right? They'll get a trump promotion.
No, he can play the ace of hearts and play a club. And now let's say, and now what? Now it goes spade, spade.
Well, what if he just plays a heart? What if Bathurst plays a heart back?
Oh, because his partner's a doubled-in heart?
Yeah,
So now there's a spade 10 promotion, you're saying?
that's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah, you're
That
right.
would be an interesting defense.
Yeah, that would be fine defense.
Not easy to lead a heart, to play a heart into the.
Yeah. Nothing else looks much better when declare switch. I mean, I guess he can switch to a spade. He might switch to a spade here, wouldn't it? It looks like he would switch to a spade.
Oh yeah, if he switches to a spade, it's fine anyway, right? Spade,
Mm,
partner wins, partner backs a heart.
No, spade
And it's the
partner
same
has to,
situation.
partner has to duck, don't they? Oh, you're right. I think that works.
No, Dan is right. This will work.
Yeah. I don't like when people say that. Don't say that.
You don't like it when your sister's right. That's what you mean, right?
That is correct. Ace of hearts pitching a club and pitching ace of diamonds pitching a heart, and now a club up.
And now the uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no uppercut. Yeah. Those tens are important. No, yeah, let's see. So let's see. Oh yeah, Bart passed the same hand that we saw 5-6-1 that was in 5 clubs redoubled. That they ended up in a nice peaceful 3-no trump, which is also a strange contract. Every contract is weird here.
4 hearts is the best one, right?
4 hearts seems pretty good. 4 spades doesn't seem bad. You do have ace, king, third of spades opposite 5 of them. But I guess a lot of, well, I'm not so sure they're gonna make, I guess if they run the 10 of hearts, they'll make 3-no.
So what's happening? Oh, Bathurst is just figuring it out, making sure that he's not missing something.
Right.
Oh, he has to lose a lot of diamond tricks. Yeah, so I would say that board 56 was the star of the semifinals. It had different results at every single table, and all of them were weird. That's the kind of boards that the people trailing needed more of. They needed more 5-6. Yeah, you want to open up board 56 and see 4 hearts. That was normal. 5 clubs redoubled, and now we're seeing 3-no trump in the other one. So everywhere. Kevin's thinking a lot about this play. All right, there he plays the ace of clubs.
Give him a break. He's defending 4 spades redoubled.
And he found the play we thought he would, and another expert makes the right play.
Yeah, really nice. We like seeing experts prove why.
Sadly, for my rooting interests, it appears that everybody has played well.
And well, at least you're getting dinner.
Yes.
Again, everyone played well except for Aaron.
Poor Aaron. Aaron always plays well against me, and you guys are picking on him.
I am not picking on him. I plead innocent.
Okay.
If Aaron is watching, he's already booked his flight, so he might be on a plane already. Meanwhile, so
Booking your
tomorrow,
flight early is a good way to, booking your flight early is good luck. If you want to have an amazing comeback, you should get on a plane.
that's true.
There's a famous occurrence where at one of the world championships, a guy was so far down that he got on the plane and went home, and then his team made a heroic comeback and he had to fly back.
That was Simone, right?
This was Simone. Yeah, that's the story.
It's good. It's, the reverse jinx or something that you're supposed to do. Here, again, time was the killer for everyone, but it looks like we're going to have an exciting match for the next 2 days of Nickel and Spectre. I think those were the top 2 seeded teams heading into this.
Well, what we had were 4 championship quality teams playing each other in these 2 days. And frankly, we've had really strong competition leading up to this point before these teams survived. And tomorrow it's gonna be some great bridge for those of you who are interested. The Nickel team, we don't have to say too much about them. They've been dominant for so long. And the Spectre team has got some of the finest young players in the game on their team as well. So it should be a great bridge.
Spectre team, were they last year's Springle champions? Was they're recent champions of some kind. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was the Soloway. Did they win?
Oh. So yep, these are heavyweights. It'll be really exciting to watch them play. But also worth noting that even with these 4 heavyweight teams, as we saw, we had that close Nickel match in the quarterfinals, and we also had a close Fleischer match in the first round, with a really exciting final set in that match, played by some friends, Anam Teba and her team.
Another very young team, very exciting to see young people. Of course, poor Joe Grew is sitting there saying, I used to be a young person. And that is married to Chris Malenkin, whose DBO screen name is Junior, even though he no longer qualifies for that title.
Well, that's one of the great things about bridge. You get to be officially young until you're 28. And then after that, you get to have friends of all ages, which is one of my favorite things for sure.
And to quote Oscar Wilde, you're no longer young enough to know everything.
Yeah.
4 Spades redoubled, went down 1, sadly. But we'll see how many more redoubled contracts they can fit in. That's the sort of thing that you want to see when you're behind. Yeah, redouble. Why not? It had a chance. They had to defend perfectly to not let it make. That was high pressure. Here, 1 no, 2 hearts, 3 diamonds is some sort of transfer to spades, probably with a stopper, I guess, or maybe just a straight spade transfer. Dana or Mitch, are you playing transfer Lebensal?
I do if the overcall is 2 diamonds or higher. I don't if it's 2 clubs.
Dana?
I don't. Michael, do you teach it to your students? Mitch,
I don't
do you?
teach any Lebensal to my students. And honestly, for most intermediate players, I would rather they just know what their bids mean. And I like to teach 2-level bids are natural, 3-level bids are game forcing. Easy, simple. But if you're gonna learn Lebensal, I think you might as well learn transfer Lebensal. It's better if you're gonna do it. And there's something to be said for teaching intermediates transfer Lebensal as well, just because they like consistency. And if your bids are transfers over no trump, then when they interfere, your bids are still transfers. Sort of makes some sense on some level. So I think that people like that. And it is a better system.
I try and emphasize with most of the people I play with at that level, just working on card play and card.
For sure. It's not something that I would ever teach intermediate players. I'm just saying that if you were to have a class on Lebensal because you've taught everything else, you might as well teach transfer Lebensal.
Mitch, I'm with you though, and you, Michael. No conventions would be sort of in some ways preferable to lots of conventions and then some confusion.
Yeah, sometimes it's like teaching people to, eat their vegetables though. Okay, we have to make our plan. We have to count our losers. And
Michael, let me hang with T1 up for you. What do you think Aaron would do?
I've seen Aaron teach, and Aaron is very patient, telling people to count their losers, count their winners, make sure that they're making a plan, right? That's always the keys. And my addendum to that, by the way, is your plan doesn't have to be a good plan. just has to be something that you can say so that you can go back to and look at it later and say, oh, why didn't that plan work? Because then you can start making good plans. But until you have any plan, you can't make good plans. It says the next round is starting in 24 minutes, but that is not true.
Well, I want to thank the two of you for an enjoyable evening in which you let me be an honorary Berkowitz for 10 minutes. I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing both of you in person. So both of you stay well, and you did a great job today. And I wish we'd had closer matches, but we did see some wonderful bridge.
We did. Thank you, Mitch and Al. This was a lot of fun. Thanks, Michael, for inviting me and not telling Jan, so she couldn't say no. Looking forward to
Thank you,
watching
Maya, for doing the operating. Maya not only does all of the view rep operating, but is also running hospitality, and at some point had to go and get this.
Oh, wow.
In the middle
Yeah,
of this.
thank you to Maya. Good point.
So thank you, Maya. All right, so what's happening on this board, does it matter? Not really. None of it matters. This is the 4-spade bid. So we're on board 59. They have one more to go. We might as well stick around. But these have not been, this is a board that we've seen before.
Basically, the cards weren't, there was no swing. There was not enough in these cards to manufacture 50 or 60 imps. That's what we saw in this session.
It didn't seem like this. Yeah, it didn't seem like there really was. But you say that, and sometimes things happen. I love that this format where everyone's playing the same board, so you can kind of see where there are swings and where there are not. Because you'll look at some of the, particularly in the early matches, where one of the sets will be, 9-9. You say, oh, there weren't a lot of swingy boards. But then in another match, it was 54-42 in the same 15 boards.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
You never really know what will create a swing. But I do think that as the teams narrow down to really the elite players, that the boards do come into play more. Whereas you won't find the sort of random swings that you do in matches where the players are still great players, but they might have different ideas of what the normal action is. I feel like that's the polite way. I don't know what the right way of saying it, but the nice thing about an event like this, everyone can beat everyone. But for some of the teams to win, they're going to need their particular picadillos to be hit, right? They're super aggressive, so the boards have to favor aggression, or they're super conservative, so the boards have to favor being conservative, because there may be a trick less over the run of some number of boards. But once you get to this level where everyone plays their cards really, really well, the boards do matter.
It's just to add one thought along those lines, it's a partnership game, and we're seeing in this match and some of the previous matches in the quarters, we've got expert partnerships. People know what their partner has, and there's, it's not like there's nothing like, it's not like tennis where you're on your own, or chess where you're on your own. It's a partnership game, and we've got creme de la creme partnerships where they know what each other have. Of course, luck is a factor, but knowing what your partner has and what the carding means and so on and so forth, that's more than half the battle.
And here we see another 3 no trump. And it looks like they're going to knock out a spade. They have 4 heart tricks.
They're going to make 9 or 10 tricks without working up much of a sweat.
Yeah, so this is a nice position for players to just recognize that the diamond suit, who cares? Let them play the diamond suit if they want to. They can take the ace and the king, and then you're going to be in good shape. So here you just go about your business, knocking out those aces, those tricks that are guaranteed for your opponents, and get out with however many tricks you wind up with. So I expect they'll play spades and then maybe even clubs. They're not going to worry about diamonds. Yeah, he's unblocking a club first. Probably just because you wanted to lead a spade to the jack.
No, just because he can cash the ace of clubs, pitching a diamond, and then go after the spades. scoring 3 spades, 4 hearts, 2 clubs, and
He has
then
to be a little.
the opponents can have 4 tricks.
Okay, he's exiting a low club. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to play ace of clubs in a club because then he can sort of come under some pressure, I think.
No, ace of clubs followed by a spade switch would have worked though.
No. So here he's set up an extra club trick for himself. He sort of created some problems. This line was probably not the absolute best. But I don't think it'll cost. 2 diamonds, a spade, and a club. He might be in trouble.
Kind of delicate now. Yes, he doesn't have an entry to the board.
Yeah, again, this is hard, but I don't love the way he's chosen to play this. All right. A heart. This has gotten more complicated than it had to be.
Well, because spades are 3-3, can't go down.
Well, if he ducks this, he can't cash the jack of clubs. That's kind of,
Right. Well, if this gets stuck, he'll play another spade, and then
but
North can play a club, and then he scores.
he's still in trouble. He's in trouble, right?
He's in trouble.
He's in some trouble here. This was a sort of strange way to play this hand.
He's probably, in fairness to Kevin Dwyer, who's a wonderful player, he's probably thinking he's lost and he lost his way a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's true. I bet he wouldn't be able to tell us what his plan was. And it happens, as we mentioned several times, long match. Maybe he was playing for some weird position too, where things were splitting badly, because sometimes you have to hope that the unlikely thing is happening and you have to play it in a certain way. Let's see. Hurd is thinking a long time. Okay, he found the good duck, another good defensive play.
So what if he plays a diamond now?
He has to hop king and clear clubs because he has the ace of spades as an entry. But I don't know if he knows to hop king. Yeah, he would have to play the king. Otherwise, Bathurst sets up a trick for them. This has gotten much closer than it needed to be in this particular contract for the reasons Mitch mentioned. And again, this is one of those things where if you don't start with a good plan, it's very hard to dig yourself out later in the deal. To say, oh, I'll just start playing some cards and I'll think about it later.
To be super fair to Kevin, the 3 of us sitting here, I won't say Al because I don't know about him. We didn't really anticipate that there was any danger. So this was a hidden danger hand.
I'm with you, Dan. I agree.
Yeah.
And there's only
I agree that this was a hidden danger hand, but
there's only 2 things that matter at this point. Dana gets dinner tomorrow night from her husband, and Michael gets to one last shot at Aaron Silverstein.
Yeah. This is how Aaron would have played it, so who are we to say any different?
I have questions about this whole situation, but I'll ask at a later time.
All right, well, he's got a chance. He's got to play a club. Yeah.
Well done.
Nice defense on the down to the last one. Now it doesn't matter which card he plays. All right. Well, again, thank you all. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jan and team.
Yeah.
Everybody, Maya, Jan, Berkowitz's. Everyone stay well and talk to you when we talk to you.
All right. And hopefully we'll enjoy a good close finals.
Yep.
Lots of the bridge. All right. Bye, everyone.
I'm into that.